Hey, folks, happy Thursday afternoon. Welcome to today's market SITREP or situation report. My name is Wiz, Matthew Buckley, CEO, founder here at Top Gun Options, and fantastic session. We just knocked out our analyze the portfolio trades and our weekly debrief. Fantastic week here at Top Gun Options. And August was my best month in 27 years of trading, and October is starting off on the right foot. If you didn't have a fantastic week, if your portfolio is blindingly red right now with all this red, man, you are doing it wrong. We have volatility trades that are printing money, bearish trades. Take a look at this. Closed this out yesterday. I did what is called a burner trade, an afterburner trade to the downside on American Airlines. I had a bear call spread, the 28.5, 29 bear call spread, and I bought some puts. 26.5 on American Airlines. I did this. My commit criteria for getting into this trade was I believe there's going to be some sort of another military strike out of Iran between now and the time the trade talks start next week. If Donald Trump and the Chinese are getting ready to do something good or to announce some positive development, pretty sure the Grand Supreme Burrito might try and rain on that parade. So put on a burner trade on American Airlines. By the time this got filled yesterday, $7,250 profit in a week and a half. $7,250 profit. Hell, that pays for half of a lifetime membership here at Top Gun Options. That pays for 3 years of an annual membership here at Top Gun Options with essentially one trade. This is a burner trade, meaning this thing accelerates either up or down. It's going to make some serious profits. And then just wrapped up our brief where we got even more bearish on Delta Airlines. Take a look at this. So just put on another burner trade. Delta Airlines getting downgraded, and all the airlines are imploding on the whole WTO decision on Airbus subsidies in the U.S. Essentially, we're cleared hot to fire tariffs. Look at that Delta airline. That's a falling knife. This is a momentum trade. So between now and next Friday or whenever, next Friday is when this Delta airline trades expires. I believe something's going to happen in the Middle East. They seized tankers. We did nothing. They shot down a drone. We did nothing. They blew up oil fields in Saudi Arabia. We did nothing. Iran's planning something bigger, bolder, where the U.S. is going to have to react. Oil's going to spike. The airlines are going to implode. So looking forward to that. But beautiful burner trade on American Airlines. We have great trades all across the portfolios in our solo Amazon service. We have this XLY bear call spread that's going to expire tomorrow for $2,600 profit, and then this Amazon bear call spread for another $2,300. So it's $4,900 just in our solo Amazon service. Could not be more thrilled with what's going on across our portfolios. Also did essentially middle of the afternoon, I sent out a text and email alert on VXX, right? I said volatility is going to come in and collapse, and it did. So hang on, let me delete this. So before we got on the webinar at 1 o'clock, sent out a text and email alert right here. And then what did volatility do? Came in like this. Right now, that trade is up $1,000 in, what's that, an hour and a half? Yeah, about an hour and a half. Got a trade that is bearish on volatility. So folks, could not be more pleased with everything that's going on. I'll explain why the market reacted this way in a couple minutes. But if you're confused, if you're not having a fantastic time like we are here at Top Gun Options, come see what we do. October 14th through the 18th. I'm going to open up the doors to the squadron. We do this a couple times a year, maybe once a quarter. Just depends on if our membership is full. So we're going to do on October 14th to the 18th. It's called Full Throttle. All you need to do to register is head to go.topgunoptions.com/FT, and that stands for Full Throttle. We're going to be talking about, and this is going to be, this is the week after we're supposed to, have good trade talks. Round number 14, lucky 14, right? Looks like 13 was the unlucky round when they got on an airplane and flew home without visiting the farmers up there in Montana. So I don't know. And you guys know as well as I do what the hell's going on domestically for the president. He could pull a rabbit out of his hat and turn this whole thing around and send this market higher with the trade deal. I don't think it's going to be worth the paper it's written on. The Chinese aren't going to stop stealing our stuff. They're not going to stop subsidizing our companies. It won't be worth the paper it's printed on, but at least the perception of it will cause the market to rally. Now, the other thing that's going to help the president is all the bad that happened this week. So let's take a quick look at what happened. The first implosion happened on Tuesday, right? Where we got some weak week. This is a huge miss. This ISM manufacturing PMI, 10 a.m. Tuesday morning, it was in contraction, right? Any PMI reading under 50 means, recessionary or, contraction in the economy. We were looking for a little bit of an uptick, at least positive. Boom, it imploded. It was worse than the last time. That's bad, okay? But what did I say on Tuesday, if you listen to me, man? And when the market imploded, I said, whoa, hang on. If we get more bad data, fast forward to this morning, you already what came out this morning, ISM, a non-manufacturing PMI. I mean, we got telegraphed earlier in the week this one was going to be bad too. So 10 a.m., you can literally see what happened at 10 a.m. this morning. Volatility goes through the roof, and let's look at the S&P 500. Look at SPX, man. And the market imploded, right? Dow was down triple digits. Boom, SPX implosion. Then what happened? I sat here drinking my coffee. I literally counted. Bad macroeconomic data, market imploded. I said, that's not going to last. 1 potato, 2 potato, 3 potato, boom. Why? I predicted this on Tuesday and Wednesday. If you remember here, man, folks, we lead all this stuff, man. I'm usually a day, 2 days before any market movement. What did I say? I said, if we get more bad macroeconomic data, the market's going to wake up into what? Bizarro market, folks. So why did stocks turn around on horrific data? Hopes for a rate cut. Here comes Uncle Jerome in 2 weeks to save us with what? Another rate cut. Now the Fed funds futures market is seeing a 90% probability that we get another rate cut in October, and it went up to 50 for a rate cut in December. But I got to be honest with you, man. What did I tell you? What have I been preaching for years? The Fred Sanford, right? I grew up watching Sanford and Son, and he'd grab his chest once an episode, and I'm coming, Elizabeth. This is the big one. You big dummy. Fed cuts rates, market implodes. Fed cuts rates, market implodes. Fed cuts rates, market's going to rally. Ladies and gentlemen, the big one is going to happen when the market recognizes that the Fed's out of ammo and running short on what they can do. Very, very interesting. So right here, it sounded like he was going to be one and done. Nope, this happened. Trade, bloody Friday. I was up in Norwich with my son, and I remember that Friday walking around campus. We retaliated, they retaliated, the Fed talked, boom. He cut here, folks, and it was a hawkish cut, right? The guy cut and more or less said, hey, don't expect anything more, man. But he also said what? We'll be data dependent. Well, guess what happened this week? The data are weak. So now he's going to have to cut again. This is going to obviously put a smile on the president's face. Every Fed meeting, the president has ripped this guy apart saying, didn't cut enough, we need to cut more, and all that type of stuff. So here we go. So we have bad macroeconomic data, but the market's going up. Remember, the 2 lines on a chart of bad macro and stock market going up eventually meet, and that is usually a huge pullback, maybe even a bear market. And I also briefed you this week that the bull market is losing one of its, if we're on a stool, we just lost a leg. The number one buyer of the S&P 500 for the past couple of years has been who? Them. The S&P 500 buying back their shares, right? That Nancy Pelosi, Elizabeth Warren, they all hate it. Chuck Schumer, Trump gave all these corporate tax breaks, and what did they do? Bought their shares back and drove their prices up. Well, now they're starting to sit on their hands a little bit, so we're kind of losing that as well. So stocks, whenever you see something like this, folks, stocks turn higher on hopes for a rate cut. We're going to be volatile in here, folks. As I predicted this week, I said we're not going to hit this 200-day moving average. But look, the market doesn't like being in between moving averages. Look at it. Look at the absolute whipsaw, right? I call this trench warfare. These, this is the U.S. and the French and the Brits, and here's Germany in World War I. This was called no man's land. You ran out here, you got killed, right? So look at all that volatility. Look at these drill bits down, trying to find some support, right? Never got down to the 200-day moving average, but we were drilling down here for a little while. I think we're going to see the same thing in October. October is the most volatile month for the market in the entire year. And what is this, October 3rd? And look at this, implosion, rally. Cut and paste August and drop it right here, and we're going to have an absolute blast doing this. One of the only trades that's kind of borderline right now is actually in FXI. We have a lot of FXI trades on. It's close to the break even. It's about 7 cents away from the break even. I'm holding this through tomorrow. Why? I think FXI pulls back tomorrow. It's up right now just on the overall market. Hey, here comes the Fed. What's going to happen tonight when we go to bed? Well, people are waking up on the other side of the world, and guess what China's doing? Hong Kong is going to invoke, you ready for these two words? Emergency powers. There's your code word, folks, for here come the tanks. An 18-year-old got shot in the chest earlier this week. And what did Trump do? He tweeted out congratulations and happy birthday on the 70th anniversary of the Communist Party in China. What are you, retarded? Instead of tweeting out like on that anniversary, hey, nice job shooting a kid in the chest who just wants to be free, he congratulates him. Lindsey Graham, Mitch McConnell, even those guys tweeted out like, Mitch McConnell's note was great. You've killed millions. You're doing ethnic cleansing against the Uyghurs in the East. I mean, you're an awful, country. Trump, congrats. If you're that desperate to get a deal, dude, I don't want a deal. And he won't get a deal. See, I predicted this for the past 2 months, man. If you've been listening to me, I said Xi Jinping is doing a fantastic job. He is going to force Donald Trump to choose. He's going to force him to choose between what? Getting a deal done and tanks storming into Hong Kong. Not that we're going to, invade but we can. Ronald Reagan, man, Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall. Words have meaning, right? So he's not going to get a trade deal if these guys crack down. The Senate Republicans and Democrats have this is a one bipartisan issue we can agree on. If they go Tiananmen Square in Hong Kong, not only won't there be a trade deal, we will put sanctions on China. So this is going to get ugly, folks. So that's why, FXI is a little bit of a loss right now. I think we're with that American Airlines trade and everything else, we're up about 19 grand this week, and then the FXI is down about 2. So we're net up 19. So if the FXI trade swings around, which I think it's going to do overnight, folks, when they invoke emergency powers, they're banning masks. All these protesters, the number one reason they're wearing masks is the gas, but here's the 1A reason, facial recognition. They're hiding the identity. They run around with umbrellas as well because they don't want all these cameras. This Chinese society, man, they have cameras everywhere. It's based on facial recognition. I've seen a lot of these protesters, they actually have, I'm not going to say human faces. They have like plastic human faces on their shirts. So the cameras actually go to that instead of their face. This is crazy, folks. I'm following this, but I just want to give you with the one trade that's a little red right now. I'm hanging, and this is why I'm hanging in it. Okay. But really good stuff. Everything else we did American. We put on new Delta trades. We talked Amazon, XLY, EWZ, our Brazilian ETF. Just fantastic trading, guys. We have been having an absolute blast here, like I said. So, this is the main reason the airline sector is imploding, is this whole Airbus ruling. American Airlines imploded. Like I said, nice $7,300 profit on this thing right there. Boom. But Delta Airlines is worse because not only did the subsidies thing hit, they got a couple downgrades. So look at that. That's a cliff. That's a momentum trade to the downside. So I have a new burner trade on with that. So if you remember, that trade is posted, and I just have to add the replay to the page here. All right, quick reminder. We are going to limit this full throttle to the amount of free people. This is free. It's open to the public, but I'm going to limit it because, to be honest with you, when I do these full throttles and I get thousands of people that register, it's too much. It's too much. Too many questions, too much. If you're motivated and you want to learn what we do here at Top Gun Options and you become a member, come check this out. If not, please don't waste my time. There are people that come to each one of these like every quarter just for the free stuff and never become a member. We're going to start limiting access to those folks because it's just don't appreciate shoplifters, man. You're either motivated when you do it or not. Okay, so head to go.topgunoptions.com/FT, and we're going to probably limit it to the first 1,000 people. Usually we get 5, 6, sometimes 10,000 people registering for this industry-leading training. I'm going to cap it at 1,000. Watch. I'll show you the registration page. Head to go.topgunoptions.com/FT to grab your slot. Have a great rest of your day. Going to be an interesting morning with the jobs number tomorrow. How's the market react? What if it's a big miss? Market rallies. What if it's a big beat? Does the Fed have to cut? We'll see you tomorrow. I'll brief you tomorrow morning after the jobs number and see how the market reacts. Okay, have a great rest of your day. Happy hunting. Make sure you hedge, and God bless. See you tomorrow.